record. I am going to flip on my screen here. Please, someone confirm that you are looking at Infusionsoft and not the GoToWebinar screen. I have two screens and can never figure out which one it's actually showing, so I just want to make sure you're all seeing the correct thing. Can you guys see my screen okay? Not getting any responses, so I just want to make sure before I start walking you through stuff. Cool. Thank you for that. All right, so let's get right into it. So today I'm gonna start and kind of give you a brief overview and kind of go through the 4-day cash machines campaigns. So there's two of them. I had a couple requests to go over those, so we're going to do that, and then we'll get into some of the questions that were emailed into me, and I'll show you how I would set those stuff up and answer any questions you have. Like I mentioned before, if questions come up during the call, like if I'm touching on something that was confusing, or you think of something like, oh, how would I do this? You can feel free to type those in the little question box, and I'll every couple of minutes or so I'll stop and probably answer some of those, and then try to loop back at the end and cover anything that might have been missed. So be patient, because there's a lot of questions being asked on there, so I'll do my best to get through all of them. If I don't, you can email them to me, and I'll answer as quickly as possible. On that note, I'm happy to help anyone, like through email, and getting you guys the support you need. If we need to schedule a call, I can do that. If it's something, I would ask that if it's something that Infusionsoft can answer, that you go to their support team first. If it's like an Infusionsoft specific question, like how do I tag this, or something like that. Like if it's specific to these campaigns, then I will definitely help you, because their support team can only take you so far. But if it's just general Infusionsoft issues, I would definitely recommend you reach out to them, as well as go to help.infusionsoft.com. They have some awesome how-to and walkthrough guides. You will get your answers quicker that way than coming to me, because I get a lot of requests and I try to get through them as quickly as possible, but it does take some time. And just so you all know, tomorrow and Friday, if you need me, if you need to email me or something, we will be at an event. So we're hosting an event in San Diego. So I will be checking email periodically, but expect kind of a delayed response time there. So just wanted to get that out of the way before we get to it. So we are in the campaign builder right now. You should all have these campaigns. So the two campaigns, 4-day cash machine and 4-day cash machine 2.0, are very similar. We'll hop into 4-day cash machine, the normal one first. And this is basically meant to replicate a sale. So that's what it is. It's an online sale. So if you have a product or something, this is just meant to say, hey, for 4 days, we're discounting it to X price. You can buy now, and you just kind of blast it out to your list. So it's meant to just be kind of that a quick kind of money grab, if you will, and just make some quick cash. So a lot of people will run this. Right now is starting to be a good time around the holidays, because it gives you a reason to run it. So that's the big thing with these, is you want to have a reason, because you don't want to devalue your product and do it all the time. So be sparing with them. But the holidays are a great time. I think when Frank did it, his reason was literally, thanks for being on my list. So not much of a reason at all, but hey, it's something than just saying, hey, I don't know if you guys have ever been on those email lists that it's just everything's constantly on sale. I know I'm on a couple of them for golf gear and stuff like that, but it's I would never want to buy this at full price, because I know in a week I'm going to get an email that it's going to be 30% off and it's going to be on sale, or they're having some sale, because they do them every week. So it kind of devalues ever paying full price for it. So that's not what it's meant to do. So use it sparingly. Like I said, around the holidays is a great time. You say, hey, Black Friday, we're discounting this for the next 4 days, or whatever it may be. So this is just, you'll notice we don't have an opt-in form on here to start this campaign. It's just a tag. That is because this should only be sent to your existing list. So we don't really want to send this to cold traffic. We don't want people opting in, for a Facebook ad or something going straight to a 4-day cash machine. It's just meant to be your existing list, loyal customers, people who've already kind of been through it. And it works kind of as two ways, because while you're selling something to them, it still kind of can serve as a goodwill because you're selling it at a discount. So, people appreciate that. So you'll notice all it is we have a tag right here, 4-day cash machine start campaign. So within Infusionsoft, you just mass tag everyone with that. We will get to mass tagging. Someone asked that question, so I'll show you how to do that in a couple minutes here. But you just apply that tag, and then they go straight into the countdown. Now, you'll notice first thing we're doing, so all these starts run at the same time. Remember that. So I know they're in different kind of lanes. These are referred to as swim lanes in Infusionsoft. These little guys right here. That's just kind of what they call them. So you'll notice these are all in different lanes, but they all start at the exact same time. We just did that. Like, these could all be in the same line. We just kind of separated them so you could have a clearer picture of what's happening and for aesthetic purposes. So first thing we're doing at the top is calculating the date that their cart will close, and so we can merge it into these emails. So you do that in plus this, excuse me, and plus this using the what's the date feature. I'm not going to go over that unless anyone needs me to. We do have the video walkthroughs in the member area that tell you how to do that. So the goal of that feature is to automatically calculate the day that their cart is closing. Now, technically, you probably don't need it for this because this isn't really an evergreen campaign. Now, you could set it up as one if you want to tack it on the end of some other campaign that you're running. But like I said, that kind of defeats the purpose of it. But anyway, we have that there to calculate the date, so we can say, hey, the cart's closing on this date, and it'll automatically calculate that for us for each user. So each contact that comes into the sequence, that'll fire off first. Now, the first thing we're doing is applying the tag, which is the cart open tag. This is what's going to control, you can see there's the tag, cart open. This is what's going to control what they see. So what page they see when they click the links. So how we do that is we set up the VSL, the smart link. So again, another plus this feature called the smart link, which basically you import two, if no one set these up yet, you import two links. Show you real quick, we'll add a new one, smart link. So I just clicked new smart link based on tags, and it gave me this option. So you'll see we have the send to address and the fallback URL. The fallback is just going to be a sold out page. So it's going to be standard, sorry, this offer is no longer available. So that'll be after the 4 days. This is the page that they will go to if they try and buy. So we're really restricting their access to, they can only buy within those 4 days, within the time we're having that sale, within the time we're discounting the product or offer. So this will send them to the sold out page. This will send them to the VSL page where they can actually buy. So, and this can be, an order form as well. If it's, a small product, you might not need a VSL. So this will just be the order page. Slash order page. So this is where they go. They'd have a description of the product and they can buy there. So the rule, we have to set up the rule so that Infusionsoft and plus this can decide which, if they see the sold out page or the order page. So we're going to do has tag. I go down to 4 day. There it is. 4 day cash machine, cart open right there. So I'm just going to select that tag since that was the tag being applied right here. That's what's reading it. So click that. Just want to take the corresponding tag and set the rule with it. So that's all set. I'm not going to create it right now, but if I click add feature, it'll give me a long link. So we just copy that, and that will be, so it'll give you one single link. It'll basically consolidate these into one link. That will be the link that is in all of these emails right here. So whenever we're linking to something in those emails, it's going to be to that smart link, which is going to say, hey, do they have this tag? Yes. Okay. They're going to go see the VSL and have a chance to buy. Now, what if they stash the email, save it, come back, 2 weeks later and like, oh, I want to buy this? Well, they're going to click that link again. And so after this, we are removing the tag. So after that 4 days, right here, the tag is being removed. So that's the same cart open tag. So now they no longer have it. When they click that link, it's going to automatically redirect them to the sold out page. And they will not be able to buy anymore. So when we create scarcity with stuff, we actually do follow through on it. We actually do take away their access. So so we do what we say we're going to do with those. And then this is just a status tag we're removing here. So that's the start campaign tag. So in Infusionsoft, if someone already has a tag and you try to add it again, it will not it won't do anything. It'll basically just be blocked. So if someone already had the 4-day cash machine start campaign tag and we tried to add it again, they wouldn't get started in the campaign. So we remove this tag in case, hey, what if in a couple months or whatever, we want to run this campaign again. We want to make sure they don't have that tag. So when I go apply it to them and start it, it actually starts the campaign. And that is pretty much how it works. That is the basic 4-day cash machine. You will notice this countdown. This is what we call the countdown sequence. Basically, the apply tag, countdown, remove tag for the smart link. We have that in almost every one of our campaigns. So at the end of the auto Webby, if someone hasn't buy, they go into a countdown sequence. Same with the auto launch, same with almost all of them. So this countdown sequence is kind of a core component that we use. So now the 4-day cash machine 2.0 is essentially the same thing, but a little bit different. So you'll notice we kind of have a click sequence or a bait sequence here. So still to existing list, still wouldn't do it to cold traffic, but for this one, we're actually providing a little bit of goodwill on the front end. So we're sending them an email to watch a video, to click the link in the email. So we want to give them something. So when Frank sold this, I think he did Survey Siphon. So he sold that campaign kind of as a standalone. And these videos were like a training video on, the campaign he launched to make X amount of dollars or whatever. So I forget how long it was. I don't think it was very long, maybe, 30 minutes or something. I can't remember. But these are just kind of a value video to get them to click and watch. And then we are tracking the people that click through this link click goal right here, and then putting them in the countdown sequence. So now we're only putting the people through the countdown sequence that showed interest and watched the video. So whatever you're selling here should kind of align with what you're giving away here of value. So if you're selling, I don't know if I'd sell like coaching through this or something, but if you have a product, maybe one of your lower end products that you're selling, maybe it's some kind of software. Here you could do like, case study video, how this business went from X sales to, something like that, something that is of value to them, but then, for the people that watch, then we're going to sell it at a discount. So we're going to drop them in the countdown sequence. So this is good because you're not dropping all of your contacts, all of your customers into just the straight countdown sequence, which is just selling to them. You're kind of segmenting just the people that were interested in the video. So just the people that clicked will pass this, will achieve this goal, and move into the countdown sequence. Everyone else moves into this contingency, and we can send them somewhere else. So that's kind of the difference between the the 4-day cache, and the 4-day cache 2.0. So you'll notice in here, all of these emails are sending to the same video. So just 3 emails trying to get them to click the video. Now, if they click the video here in email 1, they're not going to get 2 and 3. If they click it in 2, they're not going to get 3. That's just how Infusionsoft works. So you set that up in the link click goal right here. We double click that. See, I've selected all the links that I want to achieve the goal in green. So that's email 1, email 2. They'll look like that to start. You just click the little box and select them. And then email 3. So if any of those links are clicked, this goal is achieved and they move along in the campaign. So pretty straightforward. That is the 4-day cache machine, kind of in a nutshell. You'll see, like I said, you'll see these countdown sequences all over in the campaigns because those are a very core concept. So let's see if we got any questions here. Can you use that not available anymore to roll them into something else? Roll them into something, you mean like send them to another campaign, or like have them click a link somewhere that sends them to something, like makes them another offer? You could do that. You could set all that up on whatever sold out page you're sending them to. It doesn't have to be a sold out page. You can send them to whatever link you want. If it's, hey, this longer is no longer available, but I do have this upcoming webinar or something that will cover a lot of the same stuff. I don't know. That's maybe one idea, and they could register for that. So yeah, there's a couple of different things you can do. Are the videos embedded in the email, or are they links? The videos are links. So that's what we're tracking. So we're getting them to click. So we want them to click the links in these emails that will go to just, a standalone video page. Usually it's just a blank page, kind of like the megaphone ones, like with a headline and the video. That's it. So it's very, very basic, nothing crazy, nothing flashy. We don't really like to distract people. Like when they click the link to the video, we want them to, that's it. That's all we want them to do is watch that video. That's their only objective. So we don't have, op-ends on the side and all that stuff. Not saying that's wrong if you do, but that's just kind of how we do it. All right, let's see here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, publishing campaigns. So if you're having an issue publishing campaigns, so like when you go to hit publish, it gives you a red like this, campaign has failed, and then you click it. Sometimes these link click goals, like for whatever reason, when we import them into when we push them into your app, something doesn't register here. So sometimes if you just kind of disconnect them and then publish, it will work. So now I can publish it. And then sometimes if you reconnect them after that, it works. Let's see. I didn't change anything, but here, I can double click on it. It might give me the same error. So yeah, see, now it works fine. So if you're getting that red error on some of these, sometimes that's just kind of a weird software thing, and you can kind of play around with it and just kind of disconnect those lines and then try again. I got here late. Can you give me, when you would use the cache machine, is there a particular part of your list or customer behavior that you would use to trigger this one? Yeah, so for these, we do not send it to cold traffic. It's just to our existing list. And the only kind of the only thing we use the only kind of behavioral thing I guess we track, well, I guess we don't really track anything. We usually send all of our customers through it when we're running it, but we run it sparingly. So it's not something like you don't want to devalue your products by running this all the time. And then people are just expecting like, oh, it's going to go on sale, I'll just wait. That's not what we want. So we run it, I don't know, maybe once a year now. Now we have customers that run it more often, but just like our strategy right now, we just don't run it super often. I think we actually just did to sell Frank's Legacy collection. I think we used one of these. I can't even remember. I think we had a couple of different campaigns running that. But so yeah, we'll run it. I think if you run it twice, maybe 3 times a year, you're fine. I don't think that will be a problem, especially if you have a good reason. Like right now, the holidays is a great reason to run it because people are kind of conditioned to find deals during this time and take action and buy. So I think that's a great reason. If there's something in your business that you have a reason, I don't know, something, just have a reason. Cool. So any other questions on the 4-day cash machines? And then we'll kind of move into some of the email stuff I got. I'll hang for a minute. Nope. All right. So one of the questions I got is, remember I told you I'd tell you how to mass tag people. So if you wanted to start that campaign, obviously there's no opt-in form for it because, like I said, we do not run it to cold traffic. So if I wanted to start that for my whole contact list, I would just go to contacts, start over, and you should get a clean search there. Now, if you just want to run it to everyone, you can just hit search right here without putting in any of this, and it'll pull up a list of your entire database. So it'll bring up all of your contacts. So I have 400 in my app. This app's only used for testing. This is not our Frank Kern app. This is just my personal one. But say I want to do it but I don't want to send it to the people that have already purchased that product. Like they don't need it again. They've already bought it. I don't want to, harass them with emails of something they've already bought. So I would probably set the criteria as doesn't have any of these tags. And then my tag would be purchased, whatever the product is. So you should have purchase tags. I would recommend tagging everyone that's purchased a specific product. If you already have products and you've already sold, you can go back and tag them very easily. You can just go to your order reports, so you can go search for all the orders and then just tag people based on the product they bought. It'll just come in handy later. I don't have any purchase tags set up in here because, like I said, it's just a testing app. I have a general one, so I'm going to say, all right, everyone who doesn't have that purchase tag, so 410, so there's one person with it. Now I want to send them to the 4-day cash machine. So I'm going to go to Actions, Apply Remove Tag, second one down. And then I'm just going to find the 4-day cash machine. I'll do the 2.0, start campaign tag, save it, and I'll hit process. And then that will tag all of those contacts with the start campaign tag and drop them into the campaign. So pretty easy, and you can kind of set some criteria for that. So where do you tag them? Like people have already purchased. So under your e-commerce section, you can click on orders and then hit edit criteria columns, and it'll give you some search options here. So you can search by name and stuff. And then here's all of my products. Like I said, most of them are tests, but live event. Let's say I want to search for everyone that purchased live event. I can choose a date range and everything, but I just want to search everyone. Probably going to be none. Yeah, no one there. But if there was a list of, oh, there's 50 people that have bought, then I could do, actions, apply, remove tag, and just apply purchased and name the product. So if you haven't been tagging people, you can kind of go back and do that, and I would recommend doing that. There is also, side note, I've mentioned on this call before a webinar on kind of how to structure your tags that Brett Martineau did, who's another member of our tech team here. I uploaded that to the membership area where all the call recordings are. So if you get some time, you can watch that. Just kind of how we structure our tags and how we set them up. Whatever way you choose, you should have at least a plan of like, at least a naming convention and tags that make sense to you. So whatever you choose, if you want to follow our way, you can. If you want to set up your own, that's totally fine also. Either way works. Just make sure you stick with it and you understand it. So that's what I would recommend. We are switching over from another system and have a database of 26,000. Can I create a spreadsheet and pre-tag people before I upload my list? Yes, you can. So if you put it in like a CSV file, you can also tag them as they're being, so you can import them, and then right after import, it'll ask you like, do you want to tag these people? Or do you want any actions to run? You could say, yes, I'd like to apply a tag. Otherwise, you can set up, you can tag them like in the spreadsheet. So if you don't want all 26,000 people to get the same tag, you can set that up as well. I would contact Infusionsoft support and say, hey, can you walk me through this so that you don't, import it wrong or do something. It's just good to have them on the line. So I would definitely recommend you do that. If you do want to just go for it and mess it up, you can revert or roll back any imports. So if they don't get tagged right or something happens, you don't have to worry about. It's not going to like start a campaign or send them all emails or anything. And you can roll back any import that you did. So just a note on that. All right. Megaphone. How do I add a download link to a Megaphone page? So I'm pull up Megaphone here, and I'll pull up one of the VSL pages. So Megaphone does not allow you to have a download link that I know of. The closest thing I would do is like on this buy now button, you could say, download now, and in the URL, have it linked to, wherever that file is being hosted. I don't think it will let you download it straight from the Megaphone page. I've never seen that done. I'm not sure. You can contact Megaphone and see if there's a way to do that. I've never done it. So I would just set it up like that. Just have the buy button, just change the copy on here to say, download your free report or whatever it is. And have it go to another page wherever that file is hosted, or you could say, you could email it to them. So just have, instead of a download button, just have an opt-in that they have to enter their name and email. But this could be past that point. I assume it is. That's why you're asking. So yeah, I would have it just go to another page wherever it's hosted. And that's probably your best bet for that. Okay. So yeah, the Megaphone pages you have up to 50, I think. I think that's the max, 50, and we create about 40 something for you. So you can update your account to include more. They do have paid options as well. The free one that we give you only includes 50 pages though. So if you want to add more, you can, but we kind of give you the base pages for all the campaigns. Now, you can delete some of them. If you don't plan on ever running, say, a survey siphon campaign, you can delete all those pages or use them for something else. We've just kind of given you all the templates that we have used, and you can pick and choose, hey, I'm never going to run this. I can remove these. Or you can upgrade your account and add as many as you want. Okay, best way to test a campaign. Great question. So go to the campaign builder. So we will test, well, actually, might as well keep it consistent and test the 4-day cache machine. So we'll go to the 2.0. So I'm looking at the campaign. I want to test it exactly how a customer would. So I'm going to go through the exact process that my customers are going to go through. So first, I'm going to find my test contact record, which I have about 1 million of them in here that I should clean up, but okay, there's me, there's my email. So now to start that campaign, I'm just going to apply the tag to myself. So you can do that here. So I can click here and apply a tag from this screen. This kind of shows you some quick hotkeys. There's a lot of different ways to apply a tag. I can go to the actions, apply remove tag, or if I'm actually inside the contact record, I can go to the tag section and this will show all my current tags, and I can apply any of these down here. So lots of different ways. One of the confusing things in Infusionsoft is there's so many different ways to do something. So if you ask me, oh, how do I tag this person? And I say, oh, you go to the contact record and go here, and then you call support and you're like, oh, how do I tag someone? And they're like, oh, well, you go to the actions and apply remove tag. It's like, well, that's not what he said. They're both right. There's a lot of different ways to do stuff. So just be prepared for that and kind of understand that there's no way is necessarily right in a lot of situations. There's just a lot of different ways to do it. It's the same with these campaigns. We've set them up a specific way. There's other ways to set them up that will accomplish the exact same thing. Not necessarily right or wrong, just different ways. So just be mindful of that. Okay, but I digress. So back to the 4-day cache machine. I want to kickstart that campaign. So I'm just going to apply the start campaign tag, hit apply this tag. And now if I scroll down on my campaigns right here, there's a little blue tab. You will see under my recent campaign history, it'll give a little timestamp right here, date and time, and there's a little goal that happened. That tag was applied. So here it kind of lists the campaign name. So this is from everything below that. You can see it's back from November 7th. Is previous campaign stuff, testing stuff. And now if I scroll down, I will see upcoming campaign items. So keep in mind you have to scroll kind of on the side here to scroll up and down the page. If you're just within this little box and start scrolling, see it'll just kind of scroll through to your recent campaign history, and if they have a lot of those, you'll scroll forever. But anyway, so these are all the upcoming campaign items. I don't want to sit and wait for the campaign to actually run. Like I don't want to wait 5 days. So I'm just going to hit apply. Okay. That's going to apply the tags. Oh, it already did those right away, but now I want to send these emails. So this is scheduled to send at 4:30 a.m. Not really sure why, something with the timers. I want to send it now. So I'm going to hit OK. I want to send this one as well. So I'm going to hit OK. Now, let's see. And my email went offline for some reason, so I don't know why that is. But anyway, so these will be sent. So now I've sent myself these 3 emails, and I can actually click the links in there, and it will kind of move me along in the campaign as well. So right now there's no upcoming campaign items because I have not clicked the link in any of those. So if we go back to the campaign, I'll kind of show you. See it moving in real time. So you'll notice now there's a little 1 active contact there. Hop into the campaign. I click on the Performance tab right here, and I should see a little 1 right there, because that's my contact record. If I hover over the little blue circle, it'll pull up my name. And once those emails come in and I click any of the links, this goal will be achieved and it will move me to this section. And then if I go back to my contact record, sometimes this takes a couple of minutes, but the upcoming campaign items will be everything that is in the countdown sequence. So it's moved me along to here, and the upcoming campaign items will be all the countdown emails. And I can just hit send, 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 and send myself all 4 of them. And then that's kind of how you test the emails, make sure it looks all good, make sure the links all work and everything. So pretty easy process. So for the purchases, how does Infusionsoft track the purchases and everything? Like, how does it know when to stop sending these countdown emails? So you'll see we have these little purchase online goals at the end. If you double click on that, it will ask you to configure it. So this probably wouldn't be for any purchase. It would probably be for a specific product. So it'll bring up your product list, and let's say I want it to be coaching call. Save. Now whenever anyone purchases the coaching call, it will pull them out of all of this. So it will stop everything before it once the goal is achieved. So it will, if they buy from the first countdown email, they won't get the rest of them. Now, if you are using a merchant or that does not integrate with Infusionsoft, first off, you can check that. If you go to the e-commerce setup, e-commerce settings down here, under payment processing on the left, merchant account. And then you can click add merchant account. Infusionsoft does have their own now. So if you're looking for one or don't have one already, you can check that out. I haven't really heard anything about it. But yeah, so you can click add merchant, and then here's all the ones that kind of integrate easily with Infusionsoft. So if you have authorize.net, you can click on it and it'll ask for some details from authorize, and you just plug those in and hit save, and then it's all integrated. And then if someone purchases through Infusionsoft, it will automatically pull them out of the campaign. Now, if you don't have one of these merchants listed here, and you have, another one you're using like Stripe or, something like that, there are integrations that you can get. I would check Zapier, zapier.com. They do a lot of integrations with Infusionsoft. They do a lot of integrations, period. But you can usually find integrations for merchant accounts with them. A lot of them have them built in, like Samcart has one that you can get. Some of the other ones do as well. But the purchase goal in the campaign will be slightly different. So depending on the integration, most likely it's going to work based on tags instead of the actual purchase. So on the side of the integration, so not on the Infusionsoft side, there'll probably be some setup that will say when someone purchases this product, tag them with, and you'll have a tag created. So instead of this goal here, we just want to change it. So you can click the little icon in the corner to change the goal. And we would just want it to be a tag goal. So everything else is still the same, still the purchase. Now I've just changed that to a tag goal. Then we double click on it, and we would just set, the purchase goal that we set on the integration side. So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but hopefully that makes sense. Whatever tag you're setting up on the other end, you just make sure it's the same one here in this goal, and then it should work fine. I'm going to switch this back, otherwise I'll forget. What are the blue flags? Oh, good question. Okay, so within sequences, there are these little blue flags you'll notice. that if you click on them, bring up some other options. So when a goal is achieved in this sequence, stops immediately, runs until completed. What that is saying is for this sequence, whatever goal is achieved after it, so it's going to be this one. For this one, it's going to be this goal or this goal. So whatever goals at the very end of the campaign will kind of overwrite everything previous. So if they purchase, then it will stop all of this, and they're done. They're done with this campaign. So if they click the link, it will stop everything before it. And that's what this is saying. When the goal is achieved, so whatever goal is connected to it is met, we want to stop everything immediately. Now, if you're running like a free training, like say you have a 5-part video series and in each video you're selling something, but you still want them to get that free training because it's valuable, even if they buy, it's not like, hey, now you don't get the free training anymore. It's like, okay, well, what if they want the training still? We can swap this till runs until completed. And what that means is everything in this sequence, all of these emails will now send regardless of if the goal is achieved or not. So there's specific use cases for that, but most of the time you'll have a specific action you want them to take that will move them to the next place, so it'll stop immediately. So yeah, good question on that. Okay. So some of you, if you're working on the AutoWebby campaign, you will notice that we talk about action sets with Stealth, because that is how Stealth applies their tags, and that's how we track whether they logged into the webinar, whether they stayed through the offer, and so on. Now, Stealth has, since we've made those videos, Stealth has updated their integration. So they now have a separate Infusionsoft integration that works off of tag IDs instead of action sets. However, some people have told me that it's still using the action set. So I don't know if that's because they had it before or what, but either way, I'm going to show you kind of how to do both. So this is if you are using Stealth. When you're setting up the integration, it will ask you for either tag ID or action set ID. If it asks for tag ID, under your CRM settings, we can click on tags, and here's a list of all of our tags. Now I'm going to choose the category here since I know where it is. Select AutoWebby, and here's just all the tags for the AutoWebby. So if it's asking for the tag ID and say, all right, we want to tag them that they logged into the webinar. So check my logged in tag, and then the ID is right here. So in that little box, I just enter 324. Same with the saw offer. I would just enter 320. That's the call to action tag. So it'll say, if someone stays till the 2-hour and 20-minute mark, apply this tag, or enter tag ID. You'd enter 320 there. Now, if yours is still saying action set, this is a little bit more complicated, but not too bad. So under the marketing settings, action sets on the left. Now, action sets are kind of how everything used to work in Infusionsoft before the campaign builder. The campaign builder has made them somewhat obsolete. There's still some uses for them, but most everything that you need to do, you can do within the campaign builder. I hardly ever use action sets. And these are all actually default ones, so you guys will have all of these default ones. But to set one up for this specific purpose, we just want to add one. First thing we're going to do is give it a name. So this is going to be the AutoWebby, and I'm going to create the logged in action set. So that's just the name. Actions please select an action. So what do we want this action set to do? We want it to apply a tag. So I'm just going to select apply tag. And it's going to ask me which tag do you want to apply. So this is for the logged in. So I'm going to go AutoWebby logged in, hit save, and then hit save again. So now it's applying that tag. There it goes. And then put it in order here. So I have a bunch of them. But here is the AutoWebby logged in, and then action set ID right there is it gives you your number. So if it's asking for action set, you can just create it like that very quickly and easily. If it's asking for tag ID, you can go back to the CRM settings and find it. So what I just did for the logged in one, I would do for the exact same thing for the saw offer tag. So just go hit add action set, name it, and then apply that tag, and then give Stealth the ID number. What type of integration is there with Webinar Jam? So with Webinar Jam, if you're using Webinar Jam, your campaign will look a little bit differently. I'll pull up the AutoWebby here. So the AutoWebby campaign was, when we originally designed it, Webinar Jam did not integrate with Infusionsoft, so it was kind of set up for Stealth. Now, I still think the Stealth integration is better. The Webinar Jam integration does work. So instead of this form right here, because the form won't integrate, so from the Webinar Jam side, you'll set your registration form. I know we have the megaphone page for that, which works with Stealth, but not with Webinar Jam, unless they've changed that recently. So instead, this is just going to be a tag. And that tag can be register. AutoWebby registered. And then from the Webinar Jam side, there is when you get to the integrations section, it'll ask you for Infusionsoft, or there's a little integrations tab. Click on deep integration. And let me see if I can actually pull it up here. Give me 1 second.
Welcome, everybody.
I'll log in here and see if I can pull up an old webinar. Cool. Okay, so let me show you this page right here. So this is kind of the Webinar Jam setup page. So you have to go through like the configuration and the presentation, the presenters and all that to get here. But yeah, you'll set all that stuff up. Notifications. So another note, within this, within the AutoWebby campaign, you'll notice we have the reminders set up. These will need to be set up in Webinar Jam. So you won't worry about these within Infusionsoft. You won't have to set these here, but you will have to, lost it. There we go. Sorry about that. You will have to set up these reminders in Webinar Jam. So you'll have to just type the emails out there. But for this integration, so like I said, here's the integrations tab. You're going to select the little thing. You'll find Infusionsoft. Enter your app name and your API key. I've covered that on a previous call. It's very easy to get if you need help. There's like a help article that'll show you how to do it as well. But so remember, you want the deep integration, and then there are tags. So there's a little tags tab. So here it's asking for the tag ID. So like what I just showed you how to get, that's what it's asking for here. So you'll see when they register for your webinar, 5102 is our registered tag. So that means the second they register, that contact is going to get tagged with the registered tag, which will start them here in the campaign. So you can email them the invite here still. They'll still register, and once they register, they'll get tagged, which will start here, which will start the indoctrination process. When they attend, so this is our logged in tag. So we just want to go back. This is the logged in tag right here. That's the next goal. It doesn't give the tag ID here, so you'll have to go back to that CRM settings page, get the logged in tag ID, put it when they attend. If they miss, we don't tag them. If they have a replay for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't think that's supposed to meant to be here because we don't have a replay for this. Oh no, this might be for one of our other courses for high level fellowship. So I think there is a replay for those. But anyway, and then so if they leave before, we can tag them. Like if they bail early, if they stay until. So this would be kind of our saw offer tag, our when we start presenting our offer. So say at the 2 hour, 24 minute mark, we're applying that tag, which is our saw offer tag. So those are really the only ones you need to worry about. But yeah, so you'll just set that up there, and then it'll be fully integrated. So they'll be in the campaign at that point. Like I said, the only thing that's really different is the reminder. Emails will need to be set up in Webinar Jam. So all of those will be sent, but the rest of this, like they'll be dropped in the campaign, they'll flow through, they'll get that logged in tag, they'll get the saw offer tag, and then all of this can still be handled in Infusionsoft the same. So it's a little bit different, but it still works, perfectly fine. Cool. Does anyone else have any other questions? I've answered all that were emailed to me. Still got a couple of minutes here if you guys need a walkthrough on anything. I will hang tight for a second. What megaphone template, sorry Philip, I did not see your question. What megaphone template would you use for the irresistible intrigue offer? Probably Element Wind. That's one we use for there. So if you're on the templates page, Element Wind right here. That's the VSL template we use as well. So I'd probably use that one. That's a good one. But you can scroll through these and see if there's one you like more, but that's probably the one that we would use, that I would use. Cool. Well, doesn't look like there are any other questions. So thank you guys for hopping on and sticking it out and asking questions. If anything else comes up, feel free to shoot me an email. Like I said, we'll be out. Our whole office will be out tomorrow and Friday at the event. So our replies might be somewhat delayed. But other than that, I'll post the recording of this call in the members area later this afternoon probably. And yeah, thank you guys. Everyone have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.